Coming from Acid Nerve, the developer behind Titan Souls, Death's Door is a captivating action-adventure title where you play as a crow employed as a reaper. It's a charming adventure with some delightful characters and engaging combat, all set within a compelling world. While its inspirations are clear, Death's Door manages to stand out and solidify itself as more than just a simple homage. As a Reaper, you work in an office where the job is seen as routine and mundane, despite its otherworldly nature. One day you're assigned to harvest a rare giant soul, and before departing, you're reminded that until you complete your assignment, you'll be mortal and continue to age. After an introductory battle, the giant soul is yours for the taking, but before you can grab it, you're knocked out and the soul is stolen. Now with the sands of time counting down, it's a race to reclaim the soul. There isn't a ton of story in the game, but there are some nice narrative moments sprinkled throughout. The colorful cast of characters you meet along the way help flesh out a world with its own share of secrets, and each one is a pleasure to talk to. Especially Pothead, a jovial man whose head was turned into a pot of soup. Unfortunately, not every character is quite as fleshed out, but they all have enjoyable personalities, written with a distinct comedic flair. From a presentation standpoint, Death's Door has a lot going for it. Its clean and smooth visual style is impressive, and the beautiful soundtrack really captures the somber yet playful mood of the world. With similarities to Zelda, Death's Door is a top-down action-adventure with an emphasis on exploration and combat. The world is divided into multiple interconnected regions for you to explore, like a lonely cemetery and a mystical forest. Each zone has light puzzles to solve, baddies to fight, and secrets to discover. Most of the puzzles throughout are fairly straightforward and feel more like small brain teasers that aren't too complex, but it works well here and keeps up the pace. Unlike the studio's previous game Titan Souls, with its single arrow approach to combat, Death's Door offers more variety. Things are still relatively simple though, with a basic attack, a charge attack, and a dodge roll available. However, there are 5 different weapons to play around with, like a sword, twin daggers, and a giant hammer, each with its own damage, reach, and weapon swing properties. You also have access to a few ranged attacks like a bow or fireball spell that you can easily switch between mid-combat. However, each ranged attack uses an ammo slot that can only be filled by connecting with a melee attack, which forces you to mix things up fairly often. It's a simple but intuitive design that keeps the intensity up in combat. Outside of basic enemies, there are some neat bosses to test your skills against, like a giant witch throwing potions and spinning around in a jar. These encounters are great and offer a solid challenge. It should take most players a few attempts to practice and learn all of a boss's tricks. Sadly though, there aren't many of these major bosses throughout the game. There are a decent number of mini-bosses and forced combat scenarios, but they never reach the heights of proper boss fights. Backtracking plays a fairly large role in exploration, with many items or areas being inaccessible until you get new abilities later on. These treasures are often worth going out of your way for, with rewards like shards to increase max health or ammo, as well as items with tidbits of lore. There are also upgrades to ranged abilities like adding a damage over time effect to your fireball spell. There isn't a map in the game though, so you'll want to keep tabs on possible future prospects. Luckily, if you do miss anything, there's a helpful character later in the game who can give you hints on where to find treasures or secrets you may have missed. Revisiting locations is also made very convenient via the game's hub, the Hall of Doors. Here you can simply fast travel to any location you visited before, as long as you've activated the door to said location. You can also spend the souls you've earned here for permanent character upgrades, such as increased strength, which boosts the damage and range of your melee attacks, or haste, which improves movement speed, and dodge cooldown. It's not a very in-depth system, but it's still fun to increase your power. In all, it takes around 8 to 10 hours to complete Death's Door, which feels like a great length for the game's scope, and it's more than appropriate for the $20 asking price. Additionally, there is some post-game content if you're looking for more to do after the credits roll. Death's Door is a solid title that gives a great sense of discovery while also providing some challenging highlights that never feel unfair. A few more bosses would be appreciated, and some of its characters could use some more love, but the fluid combat and simple but enjoyable puzzles make it a pleasure to play. It's an easy recommendation to anyone looking for a lighthearted, quirky adventure. Final score, 8.5 out of 10. Easy Allies reviews are made possible by generous viewers just like you. If you like what you see, check out patreon.com/EasyAllies to help us make more. Join for just $1 a month to check out Minigame Champions, a new 8-episode contest in which we battle against each other in various minigames to see who can take the crown.